So you want to set up a media server in your home lab, but you're going to need some specific hardware to do so if you want it to run really well. So in this really short video, I'm going to go over a term that you might come across when you're online looking at different groups and looking at setting up something like Jellyfin or Plex or something like that. Now you may have already set up Plex or Jellyfin on your home lab, but the performance might not be so good. One device is fine, but once you start going to multiple devices, you might start realizing that it's being kind of slow, and that's normally because what's happening is the processor in your home lab is handling all of the encoding of the video and then sending that to the devices, or if it's set up another way, actually all the encoding is done on the device itself, which is really inefficient, especially if you're transcoding to mobile devices and so on. A really good solution that people might talk about, and a term that you might hear really often in different groups and online and so on, in other videos as well, is pass-through. Pass-through is a terminology in the kind of home lab and server space where you take a device. I'm going to show you one here. This is an old graphics card, but it's very low profile. And what you do is you plug it into a server, and what you basically are doing is you're telling the server to pass through that specific piece of hardware to the virtual machine that you've set up that runs the service, right? Or a Docker container. So what you would do is install Jellyfin or Plex or whichever flavor you want for your media server. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tell the server to take this graphics card and give it to this virtual machine so that it sees it like its own graphics card. And then what you can do is you can set up that graphics card and that virtual machine to do all the transcoding of your media files for you. It's a lot more efficient. That way it all gets handled on the server, and then your devices don't need to do all the transcoding themselves. It makes buffering faster, makes the performance better, and it's going to improve the battery life on mobile devices. So pass-through is really just a phrase that's used to basically take hardware and pass it through to virtual machines. This can be for network cards, you can do this for hard drives, you can do it for sound cards. Any PCI Express thing that's plugged into a motherboard can be basically pass-through, but the only difference is that different devices work better with pass-through or not. Different motherboards and different architectures, Intel, AMD and so on, they'll have different routines and different processes for setting this up, so you still have to refer to the specific way of doing that, and not every single hypervisor will support everything. But if you're using Proxmox or you're using Hyper-V or you're using anything else, ESXi or so on like that, there's a big variation on how many of these devices can be supported and how well. If you're going to set up Jellyfin or you're going to set up Plex or something like that, Proxmox has a really wide range of support for pass-through for graphics cards, for example. So you can take old graphics cards like this and you can put it on a PCI riser type of card, and so you can lay it flat, and then you can plug, you don't need to plug in anything directly into here. All it needs to happen is that you've got a graphics card that is passed through the virtual machine, and then you'll get a lot more improvement in performance from media servers. If you'd like to see a video tutorial on how to do that, please write in the comments below. I have a lot of different videos planned, but if enough people ask me for that, I may make a video on how to take a graphics card and pass it through using Proxmox, because that's the one I use at home. Just let me know in the comments below and I'll schedule some time to make it happen. As always, I hope this video has been helpful for you. Please do hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.